In London in the year 1814 near Tottenham Court Road, life moved slowly through narrow streets filled with workers' families and children living below street level in damp basement rooms, while above them stood the Meux and Company Brewery, where enormous iron vats towered like silent giants, holding thousands upon thousands of liters of beer. And on an ordinary afternoon, with no warning, no storm, no fire, and no sign of danger, one iron hoop slipped from a massive vat, and in a moment that would change British history forever, the pressure inside exploded, tearing the tank apart with a thunderous crack that shook the ground, sending more than 1 million liters of beer crashing forward like a liquid wall, smashing through the brewery walls, ripping bricks from buildings, collapsing homes, and flooding streets in seconds as people screamed, ran, and slipped, unable to understand what was happening, because no one expects beer to become a weapon of death. Children were lifted off their feet, women were trapped inside their homes, candles were snuffed out instantly, and entire families were swallowed by the flood as neighbors stood frozen in shock, watching a golden wave carry furniture, bodies, and broken wood through alleys where moments earlier life had been painfully normal. And in the chaos, some rushed toward the noise out of curiosity, never realizing they were running into danger, while others tried desperately to save loved ones, but the force was too strong, the streets too narrow, and the water too fast. And when the beer finally settled, 8 innocent lives were gone, most of them women and children, from the poorest parts of the city, and the silence that followed was heavier than the noise before, because London had just witnessed one of its strangest tragedies, a disaster so unbelievable it sounded unreal, and yet it was painfully true. And when the case reached court, no one was punished, no one blamed, and the deaths were declared an act of God, as if fate itself had chosen those streets that day. And for years afterward, people spoke of it in hushed tones, because it was easier to laugh at the absurdity than face the truth that even ordinary places can turn deadly without warning. And even today, when London talks about forgotten disasters, this story still stops people mid-sentence, because it reminds the UK that history is not only written by wars and kings, but also by sudden moments where normal life collapses in seconds, leaving behind shock, silence, and questions that never truly fade.